Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So big shout out to the guys up at MB Models in Leeds. We've got the XD10 Pro ESC, and as you might guess with this, we're going to be building a drift car at some point. So we've already done the Rev D little drift car, and I've been driving that. Really impressive, but we're going in a different direction. But yeah, this is the XD10 Pro, so this is going to be a quick video. I'm going to bring in, show you what you can get in box with this, and give you a few specs and everything. And yeah, let's bring in for a close-up look and see how it goes. So it's the XD10 Pro ESC, 100 amp, suitable for 1/10 drift. So it is a drift specific ESC, this one. And there is other ESCs on market, but this one seems to suit more of what I'm going for. So let's get this open. As normal with Hobbywing, there's not a lot on box, and let's have a look what we get. So we do get the ESC itself. You got decent length cable on it, which for some drift cars you tend to mount these on back, so it's nice to have enough cable to get round to your receiver. We have the programming port, we have a fan port, you've got the capacitors pre-installed. These aren't the non-polarized ones, they're the standard ones. You can swap them out if you like. You've got some fairly long cables with the red band, so you can identify which is your positive. Lovely machining on this. And it does say 2S LiPo, and your BC is 5 to 7.4 volt. So I'm guessing we're going to have a program plugged in this at some point. You've got the port for the sensor cable, and you do have the A, B and C wires. They are color coded, and you have the legend on the ESC itself. So yeah, that's really nice. And then in the box we do get the sticky pads to stick it down. And you get a little one for the cap pack. Kind of looks like Hobbywing sort of forgot how big the cap pack were, or they intended giving you a smaller one. Or these are the same ones that you get where you have a separate switch, because the power button is on the ESC for these. We also get, if you're into racing, you're probably not used to seeing these, but it's one thing that I've always thought, why don't we get them with racing? But these are the tiny little connectors to put on your wires, so you can swap the motor out. You do get 2 bits of heat shrink, so they'll come in handy. And if you can hear any strange noises, we've currently got the weirdest weather in the world in UK. We've got blistering sunshine, but 3 hours ago it was torrential rain, and now we've got 40-mile-an-hour winds with blistering sunshine. So we also get the cooling fan and 4 little mounting screws. So it is a really cool, nice looking cooling fan. You've got the Hobbywing logo, and it's all machined out aluminium, and it is done in the design to match the ESC, and even the little cutouts for the wire to match. So if you do need to use it, you can. It's also got a nice short cable, so we ain't got cables going anywhere. But depending on how you run it and how your ESC works and the settings, you may or may not need to use the fan. I know some of the drift guys do and some don't. And it seems to be the same with motors. Some use a big cooling fan on the motor and some don't. But I think it depends on your actual driving style and how you brake the traction for drifting. You can either spin the wheels up or you can just tap the brake. Really depends on your style. So in the box we do get 2 zip ties. We do get a nice bunch of Hobbywing stickers that unfortunately they've stopped doing these in some of the ESCs. And then we get the instructions. So I'll quickly have a look through this and see if we've got anything that jumps out. But I will be, when I get this fitted in the RC, I will be doing a full sort of guide on what the programming settings are for and everything. But just going through it quickly, we've got running mode, so you've got forward with brake, forward reverse with brake, and forward and reverse. Max reverse force is in steps, so 25, 50, 75 and 100. We've got reverse delay, which I had a couple of guys at track moaning last night, saying they're annoyed at how long they've got to wait for the reverse to kick in. Obviously with drifting, you can have reverse. It's not like racing, or at the tracks we go to, you're allowed reverse. They're adjustable 0 to 5 seconds in 0.5 degree jumps. Your voltage cutoff, which I would say on a drift car, you're probably going to be wise to have this turned on. I know a lot of guys in racing don't, because they don't want to lose a race just because LVC's kicked in. But drifting, you get a long time out your battery. So you can have it on auto, which is 3.3 volt per cell, or it's adjustable in 0.1 volt steps from 3 to 7.4 volt. Your speed controller thermal protection, you can have it at 105 or 125, which is 221 degrees Fahrenheit or 257. Motor protection is the same, and you can also disable both protections. BEC voltage is fully adjustable from 5 to 7.4 volt in 0.1 volt steps. So nice to see it's fully adjustable, not just a 5 or 7.4 volt. Remote off, which I do use quite a lot in my race cars, so you just hold reverse and it turns the vehicle off. Motor rotation, we can switch between counterclockwise and clockwise. AC phase swap, so you've got that option as well. I believe that's instead of the wires, you can flip it. I think that is. Something I'll have to look up. Throttle rate control in one point steps from 0 to 30. Throttle curve, linear or fully customized. Neutral range, 3 to 10% in 1% steps. Initial throttle force, 1 to 15, again in 1 steps. Coasting, 0 to 15 in 1% steps. Then you've got your PWM drive frequency. The higher you have this, the smoother it is, but the hotter it makes your ESC run. So with that, you can go 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32, 40 or 48 or customized. Softening value in 1 degree steps, 0 to 30. Softening range, so you've got 0, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 and 75%. Drag brake force, 0 to 100 in 1 degree steps. Maximum brake force, 0 to 100 in 1 degree steps. Initial brake force equals, you can have it say equals your drag brake, or 0 to 50% in 1 degree steps. Brake rate control, 1 to 20 in steps of 1. Brake curve, linear or fully customized. Brake frequency, you can have in 0.5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 or 24k or customized. Boost timing, 0 to 64 degrees in 1 degree increments. Boost timing activation by RPM or auto. Boost start RPM, 500 to 3500 in 500 RPM steps. Boost end RPM, so 3000 to 60,000 in 500 RPM steps. Turbo timing, 0 to 64 degrees in 1 degree intervals. Then as turbo delay, so how long you have to hold full throttle before your turbo kicks in. So you can have instant, 0.05, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.4, 0.45, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 or 1 second. So plenty of choices on the delay. Turbo increase rate, so the amount of degrees in 0.1 of a second. So you can have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27 and 30 or instant. And the turbo decrease rate, you've got exactly the same range on that. So I think that pretty much covers everything for just a first look at it. You've got full explanations of what all the softening range does and everything like that. It's all in the instructions. It is programmable from the LCD box or the over-the-air programmers via the Hobbywing app. It would be nice to see Hobbywing implement the iBus 2 on this, because with the XR range and racing, you can't have telemetry or on-the-fly programming when you're racing, but for drift, I think this would be fantastic to be able to control the settings off your transmitter, same as you can with the AX R2 and R3 system. But yeah, so we got a whole lot of information there, but as I say, on this one, once I fit it to the RC, I'll do a video on running through the programming with the app so you can see what all these settings do and what they're for and what you'd expect the outcome of changing them to be on the actual vehicle itself. But yeah, that's quite an impressive looking ESC, and hopefully it's well suited to drift. It's what they've designed it for. But yeah, let's wrap this one up. So there we have it, the Hobbywing XD10 Pro. Quite a different looking ESC this. I'm looking forward to getting it set up. I have run the Rev D with one of the XD10s in, I believe it were. It drove really nice. Would like to see Hobbywing add the iBus 2 control. Whether it's possible on a firmware update or whether they're going to have to bring a new version out, that'll cost me even more money because these are £155, I think. But yeah, they are a really nice ESC. You are getting the latest technology in these. There's an awful lot of settings, and although it's convenient to have the iBus 2, it is very easy to just use the Bluetooth dongle, and you're only going to tweak these settings for the first few times, and then when you've got them where you want them, you're going to keep them there. But again, big shout out to the guys at MB. They've sourced me this, and I will put a link in the description below the video. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.